Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Naveen, and today we are going to discuss what is this adaptive exam about NMAT. So it's also called as Computer Adaptive Test, aka CAT. So this CAT is different from the CAT exam that you write, right? That CAT is the abbreviation for Common Admission Test. The NMAT exam is called Computer Adaptive Test. So let's discuss a bit about what kind of exam this is. And it has been recently introduced for NMAT. It has been for the past 2 years now only. And NMAT has, it is being conducted by GMAC, the consortium or the group that conducts the GMAT exam as well. Okay. So सबसे पहले, first of all, so when are we going to have NMAT exam, and what will be the pattern of this? So the NMAT exam is supposed to happen in the month of October to December. Okay, it's almost 6 to 7 weeks that the exam continues, at most 8 weeks. And the total questions is 108 questions. This is fixed. The duration is 120 minutes. This is also fixed. You do have sectional time limit, and you do have sectional cutoffs. So there are 3 sections. You have got verbal, which is known as language skills or LS in NMAT. So there are 36 questions and you are given only 28 minutes. So you have to solve every question in less than a minute on an average. Then you have got quantitative skills, which is mathematics. There are going to be 36 questions again, but the time allotted is 52 minutes. So you have around 1.5 minutes per question. And the third section is logical reasoning. You will have same number of questions. So the number of questions are fixed, 36, 36, 36. And the duration is 40 minutes. So you have around 1 minute per question, right? So in English, you have less than 1 minute. For mathematics, quantitative skills, you have got around 1.5 minutes. For reasoning, you have got approximately 1 minute. And the sequence of the sections you can choose. So if you want to solve logical reasoning first, you can select you want to solve logical reasoning first. Okay. So the order of the sections, these are not fixed. It's up to you. What about the marking scheme now? So every time you answer a question correctly, you're awarded 3 marks. If you do not make any, if you make a mistake and if you are not able to solve it correctly, you will be given 0 marks, as in no mark will be deducted. And if you leave any question unattempted, again, no mark is deducted. So this is an exam where you are not penalized for making mistakes, right? The total marks range is going to be from 36 to 360, which is kind of weird, because if I take 36 questions from each of the 3 sections, I'll have a total of 108 questions. And giving 3 marks to every question, which it is, we should have 324 marks. But we see that we have a total of 360. And what if I don't attempt even a single question in each of the 3 sections? Will I be given 0, 0, 0? No. Minimum 36 तो आएगा ही आएगा. क्यों होता है ये? Why does this happen in NMAT? It is all because of the type of exam we have, computer adaptive test. Okay. Result is declared 48 hours after the exam. It goes to your inbox, or maybe in your spam folder, depending upon how, what kind of securities you have for your inbox. Okay, and then you will be given a proper result as well later on. So let's talk about this exam type. Okay, so GMAC, it says that questions in the NMAT exam are selected from a pool or a question pool of exam, question pool for each particular candidate, for each examinee. Okay, and depending on his or her performance on the questions previously answered. So once I sit for the exam, okay, and the moment I am given a question, first question, my next question is not yet decided. Computer abhi ko nahi pata hai ki next question kaun sa dega. So my question paper is not yet decided. My question paper will automatically be formed as I solve it. Okay. So depending upon how I'm going to answer this particular question, my next question is going to be decided in the real time. CAT, ZAT, IFT, बाकी exams में what happens is the entire question paper is fixed. The sequence of the question numbers they change. पर इधर क्वेश्चन नंबर का सीक्वेंस नहीं, क्वेश्चन ही पूरा डिफरेंट है. यू आर राइटिंग द एग्जाम, आपके बाजू में एक बंदा एग्जाम दे रहा है, आप दोनों को पूरे अलग क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं, ठीक है। सो द क्वेश्चंस अ कैंडिडेट रिसीव्स आर टारगेटेड, ठीक है, at his or her ability level. Therefore, a high scoring candidate generally receives a more difficult sample of questions than a lower scoring candidate. So every time I am able to answer a question, the next question the computer will understand, the engine behind it will understand that this guy is good, he or she is able to answer this particular question. Let's give him a little more difficult or maybe of the same difficulty level. ऐसा नहीं है कि difficulty level बढ़ते चला जाएगा. To a certain extent, the difficulty level will stop. And every time you make a mistake, so the engine understands that इससे ना ये हो नहीं पा रहा, तो इससे थोड़ा आसान क्वेश्चन देते हैं next. So this system will give you an easier question. Now this is a very good indication when you are writing the exam, and if you get the next question a difficult one than the previous one, आपने previous question को सही answer करा था. But if you get an easier question, your last question was a wrong one, as in the answer was a wrong one. Okay, so if you can understand the level of questions for the exams, for each section of the topic, you know that this is an easy question, this is a difficult question. So every time you receive an easy question, you know that you already have made a mistake in the last question. And if it's a difficult one, तो आपको पता है कि आपने सही कर दिया, इसीलिए आपको difficult मिला. Now, the NMAT exam score, how it is calculated? It is calculated by first obtaining the candidate's final ability estimate based on the probabilistic model approach of modern exam theory. Now, this may look like कि एक probability का problem है, बिल्कुल है, and it's a very complicated engine, ठीक है? It is such a complicated software, it is such a complicated computer software or an engine behind it that nobody can replicate it. ये केवल GMAT के पास है, okay? So even the best of the best institutes or people, they can't replicate this GMAT one. So the GMAT exam engine. So normally whenever you are going to write a mock, the paper is not adaptive in nature. पहला question paper hasn't decided होता है, and you can shuffle between the questions. But in the actual exam you can't. Okay. Once that particular exam theory logic के हिसाब से probability लगा के जब score मिल जाता है, then it is transformed to a skill score ranging from 12 to 120. Now you guys can understand that instead of 324 marks, how can somebody get 360? Or instead of getting 0 marks, how come somebody get 36? Because scaling होता है, ठीक है? The scaling is based on a lot of parameters, nothing to do with your CADs, nothing to do with your gender, nothing to do with what graduation you had done, your work experience. उससे related नहीं होता है scaling. Scaling has to do with how good you are at in a particular section, in a particular topic, in a particular type of question as compared to others. ठीक है? So the system looks into everybody's score simultaneously, whoever has written the exam so far, and then compare and decide. ठीक है? So we can say that the candidate who gets more difficult questions correct will get a higher score than a candidate who gets a lower score, right? So मेरे को अगर ज़्यादा difficult मिल रहा है तो मतलब मैं ज़्यादा सही करते जा रहा हूँ. So obviously my score is going to be better than somebody जिसके आसान questions आए थे. ऐसा नहीं है कि if you are going to not make a mistake, अगर आपने आंसर सही करा है तो next question वो easy देगा. वो दूसरे टॉपिक से भी देगा पर easy नहीं देगा. ठीक है? So that part is fixed. Now, in simpler terms, what you can understand is if you attempt a question correctly, the questions in the future will progress in an increasing level of difficulty level. And if attempted incorrectly, अगर गलती कर दिया आपने किसी को आंसर करने में, the future questions will be an easier one. So let's take the example of two people, A and B. Okay. So if there are two candidates A and B and they both attempt the same question X, and if A ने उसको आंसर correctly कर दिया और B ने गलत कर दिया, ठीक है, B से गलती हो गई. So what will happen is A will get a next question as the difficult one, लेकिन B ने X को गलत कर दिया है तो उसको next question आसान है. ठीक है, ऐसा होता है. Now the level of next question of NMAT will depend on the accuracy of the previous question attempted by the candidate, and it's not just that candidate, it has to do with all the candidates who have written the exam so far. So अगर मैं TSD का question number 11 कर रहा हूं और अगर मैंने उसको सही कर दिया तो question number 11 TSD, who some people who have been scoring the way I have been scoring until 12th question number, उनसे कंपेयर किया जाएगा मेरे स्कोर को, एंड ऑफ कोर्स विद अदर्स एज वेल, right? And then the scaling happens. Okay, so whether the previous question is attempted correct or incorrect, okay, in this pattern the difficulty questions are in terms of more weightage in terms of marks in comparison as compared to easy questions. तो आसान क्वेश्चंस को सही करने पे आपको कम मार्क्स मिलते हैं, वेटेज कम होता है. इफ यू सॉल्व अ डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस करेक्टली यू विल बी गिवन मोर वेटेज क्योंकि डिफिकल्ट था. ठीक है. One very important part is you can't skip a test, skip a question, and you can't go back to the previous question. एक क्वेश्चन अगर सॉल्व कर लिया तो आप नेक्स्ट पे जाओगे, and once you reach the next, you can't go back to the previous one. And unless and until you don't solve this question, you can't go to the next one. So if you have a question here with the options here, and then there are two buttons ना, जो normally होता है. So थोड़ा और ऊपर लिख देता हूँ. So there are two buttons, no? एक होता है previous and the next, another one is next. So when you click on next, you move to the next question. When you click on previous, you move to the next question. NMAT exam में ये दोनों buttons नहीं होते ही नहीं है. You just have this question, that's it. And 4 options, 5 options. Once you attempt an option, तब जाके नेक्स्ट का बटन आता है. प्रीवियस को तो तब भी नहीं आता. सो यू नो मैटर व्हाट यू डू यू कांट गो बैक टू द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन. ठीक है. ओके. लास्ट ईयर NMAT, in NMAT 2022, there were few changes, few things that were introduced. The first one was, so anyone who was not attempting the closed test questions, they were awarded negative marking. Negative marking not like -1 negative marking, पर आपका वेटेज बढ़ेगा नहीं even if you attempt the next question correctly. What is a closed test? Closed tests are the tests which are more like RCs. RC को आप closed test समझ सकते हो. Something that requires reading and language and comprehension, and then you're going to solve it. So RCs. In order to increase the score now, it is advisable to be extra careful in the initial few questions. So अगर आपने स्टार्टिंग के 10 to 12 क्वेश्चंस थोड़ा आराम से जाके अगर आपने सही कर लिया तो there is high probability that you will be scoring good. क्योंकि once you reach 10-12 क्वेश्चंस के बाद at a certain limit, your scaling and the weightages that you get for the difficult questions, they become so large that even if you drop down after that, आपका reduction नहीं होगा. पर अगर आपने पहले ही स्टार्टिंग के क्वेश्चंस में गलतियां कर दी तो उसके बाद आप बहुत भी कोशिश करोगे, your score will not increase that much. Okay? The reason behind is how the formula works for this software. Okay? So please remember this, that if you want to have a greater score, make sure that the initial 10 to 10 questions, हर section में, तीनों में, not in just one section, should be correct. So it means initially you need to go slow. Okay? Make sure that most of the questions initially are correct. उसके बाद आप speed पकड़ लो. Now this is only going to happen because once you sit for the exam, the very first section that comes to you, or the very first section you select for answering, should be the one that you are more comfortable with. है ना? So since students can select the sections to be attempted in the exam, the sequence of that, it is always advisable to start with the section a student is more confident with. Okay? तो ये आपका कंप्यूटर एडेप्टिव टेस्ट हो गया. Yeah, hi Mayank, hi Saket. Kushagra, it is said that the level of difficulty of NMAT and SNAP is increased. Is it true? नहीं, Kushagra. The level of questions have not increased. The competition has increased. And NMAT के केस में the level of questions had been same जैसे पहले रहा है. It's about the adaptive thing that has made it difficult. ठीक है? So level of questions CAT level या ZAT level का नहीं हो गया. ऐसे समझो. Suppose you are writing an exam pan India where only 100 people are writing that exam. ठीक है? And there are, let's say, 20 seats. So chances of you converting for that particular college or for that in order to convert that exam, your chances is कि हर 5 में से out of 100 students, 20 students will be selected, right? The moment instead of 100 people, 10,000 people write the exam, तो आपका fight ज़्यादा हो जाएगा ना? So out of 10,000 people, if only 20 people are to be selected, so your probability or your chances of getting in, it becomes difficult. Not only these students or the candidates who are weaker than you are also writing the exam in more numbers, but also the candidates who are as good as you or better than you. That's what competition is about. More people means better competition. So that is the reason. Over the years, NMAT was not attempted by a lot of students, but in the recent few years, NMAT बहुत लोग देते हैं. ठीक है, पहला reason NMAT का, SNAP का भी same reason. Second reason for NMAT is initially everything was same apart from the adaptive nature of the exam for NMAT. So होता क्या था कि people were like they used to move to and fro and made sure that they were able to answer most of the questions correct. अब बाकी सब तुक्का मार के आगे बढ़ जाते थे. तुक्का भी मार दिया तो नेगेटिव तो होना नहीं है. But since 2021 this exam has been adaptive in nature, तो अब क्या होने लगा है कि अगर आप तुक्का मार रहे, see, first thing is you can't shuffle between the sections or even between the questions, right? And if you make a guesswork and if it is wrong, your mark will reduce. Even though there is no negative marking, your overall mark will reduce. Why? Because अगर आपने सही करा होता तो आपका मार्क्स बढ़ता, पर आपने सही नहीं करा तो आपका मार्क्स उधर ही है. So overall mark did not increase, right? So because of that, the cutoff has kind of remained same because better students are able to get that score. ठीक है, पर जो एवरेज और लिटिल एवरेज स्टूडेंट्स थे उनके लिए फाइट हो गई है. जो पहले वो तुक्के से भी कुछ 4 क्वेश्चन सही हो जाते थे, अब वो बहुत रिस्की हो जाता है. सो स्टूडेंट्स दे पे मोर अटेंशन. और लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स दे आर नॉट एबल टू इवन कंप्लीट द लैंग्वेज स्किल सेक्शन, वर्बल वाला इन एनमैट, बिकॉज दे आर टू अफ्रेड टू मेक मिस्टेक्स. ठीक है, तो इस कारण से वो हो गया. पेपर टफ इस कारण से हुआ है, नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ द टाइप्स ऑफ क्वेश्चंस और द लेवल ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, लेट्स लुक एट सम ऑफ द प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चंस ऑफ एनमैट. So you will have an idea कि कैसा था. जैसे कि ये 2022 के क्वेश्चंस हैं इसमें. In the following questions, 2 statements are followed by 2 inferences. Mark your answer as 1 if only inference 1 follows, 2 if only inference 2 follows, 3 if both follow, and 4th if neither of them follows. So all Peter are Piper. So some Pickle are Piper, some Peter are Pickle. I believe you guys will understand this is a question based on syllogism. Right? ठीक है. So all Peter are Piper. So I'm going to write yellow for Peter. Since all Peter are Piper, so this Piper will be white and it will engulf. It will be outside the Peter one. And then it says some Pickle are Piper. So I will be taking a pickle. And some Pickle are Piper. Now I'm going to shade the portion which I am pretty sure exists. So first part that exists is all Peter is Piper, and then the second part exists is some Pickle is Piper. ये दोनों part for sure है. Now let's look at the question. Some Peter are Pickle. Maybe, may not be, not necessary. Some Pickle are Peter. अगर some A's or B's true नहीं है तो some B's or A's क्या ही true होगा. So neither of them is going to be can be inferred. So the answer is going to be 4th. Neither of these 2 inferences are going to follow. Okay. Next question. In the following question, 2 statements, inferences. This is another question on syllogism. Right. Let's start. All boats are ships. So we have boats, yellow in color, and ships. These are going to be white in color. So these are ships. And some ships are jinxed vessels. So same previous wala here, right? And then we are going to shade the portion that we are pretty sure about. It says all boats are ships, so boats जो ships के अंदर है, and some ships are jinxed vessels, so ये वाला part. Okay, so the diagram is same, the name of the sets are different, the statements may be different. So let's read that. Some boats could be jinxed vessels. So some boats could be jinxed vessels. Yes, because it uses the word could. Could मतलब possibility. हो सकता है, बिल्कुल हो सकता है. Instead of could, had it been some boats are jinxed vessels, the answer would be no. क्योंकि वो हो भी सकता, नहीं भी हो सकता. How can I say कि है ही? अभी तो could है. So it is possible. Next, some jinxed vessels could be ships. Some jinxed vessels could be ships, but not boats. Yes, that we can definitely say. Could to chhod do, ye to definite hai. So this is also true. So both of them are going to follow. So option number 3. Right? Okay. NMAT is notorious, just like GMAT, to give you a lot of data sufficiency questions. Now, data sufficiency questions you will have to practice separately because they are not so much asked in other exams. NMAT में काफी पूछते हैं, IFT में कभी-कभी पूछते हैं, CAT में तो नहीं होता, ठीक है? DS is important because it uses a lot of concepts rather than problem-solving approach. So your concepts need to be very, very good and clear if you want to be accurate in DS. Okay? So how much marks did Mohan obtain in Hindi? So can we answer this question or not? The average marks obtained by Mohan in Hindi, Math and Biology are 72. So how much did he obtain in Hindi? Of course, we won't be able to answer using this. The total marks obtained by him in Hindi and Math are 129. So if I know Hindi, Math and Bio, and if I know Hindi and Math, so I will be able to calculate for Bio. I can still not be able to calculate for Hindi. So B alone se bhi nahi aa raha, और A और B मिला के भी नहीं आ रहा. The total marks obtained by him in History and Bio are 143. So if I bring in History and Bio and Hindi, Math and Bio, so I will have a new subject History and existing subject Hindi and Math. So even A and C will not help. And if I include all of them, then what will happen is I will have Hindi, Math and Bio, then I will have Bio from the second, and then I will have History from the third, but Hindi abhi bhi nahi milega, right? So the answer is going to be fourth option. See, I did not solve anything. I was just using the concept of averages, that if 3 numbers average is given, if I need to find out average of 1, then I need to find the average of 2. It's nowhere given. If I'm given the average of Hindi, Math and Bio, तो मेरे को Math और Bio का average चाहिए. कहीं नहीं given है. When Bio is given, History is given. When Math is given, Hindi is given. Not good enough. Okay. Next, what is the ratio of present ages of X and Y? The ratio between the present ages of X and Y after 10 years is 11:15. So if I know the ratio 10 years later, so I won't be able to calculate the age currently. Think about it. अभी का कुछ एज है, दोनों में 10 ऐड करके वो जो रेशियो है 11:15 है, तो बहुत ज्यादा तरीके से बन सकता है, राइट? Suppose present age of X is X, present age of Y is Y. So can we say X plus 10 divided by Y plus 10 is equal to 11/15? So this is what I meant. You have 2 variables, 1 equation. It can be done in a lot of different ways. See, I'm not going to solve it. I'm not going to write down the equation, पर मेरे को पता है कि इससे तो आने से रहा. Next, the present age of Y is this much percentage more than that of X. So if I look at B statement, so B will again give me a relation between X and Y, but not exactly the values. So B से भी नहीं आने वाला. But if I look at the options, it says A and B together. So let's club them. So if I club them, in the first one, I have an equation in X and Y. From the second also, I have a relation between X and Y. 2 variable, 2 equation, answer आ जाएगा. 1 mark करके आगे बढ़ जाओ. ठीक है? I don't have to check C statement or the other options. Next one. This looks like a quant question. If the digit in the units place of a 2-digit number, so let's say this is 2-digit number AB, it says if the units place is halved, as in B becomes B by 2. So let's do one thing. Let's write this already 2B so that I don't have to deal with fractions. And the digit in the tens place is doubled, so A becomes 2A. The number thus obtained is equal to the number obtained by interchanging the digits. So the original number was 10A plus 2B. If I interchange, I will be getting 10 times 2B plus A. And it is saying that if I look at this, this is 10 times 2A plus B. The number thus obtained is equal to the number obtained by interchanging the digits, right? So it's telling me 20b plus a is equal to 20a plus b, or I will get a is equal to b, right? 19a is equal to 19b, a is equal to b. So it says that units place digit and tens place digit are equal. No. The units and tens place digits are not a and b. They are a and 2b. Digit in the units place is twice the digit in the tens place. This is true. B की जगह अगर आप A लिख दोगे तो digit in the units place is 2A, digit in the tens place is A. So can we say that the digit in the units place is twice the digit in the tens place? Yeah. Okay. Why? Because this is the original number, isn't it? Original number ये तो मेरा interchange करके half और double करके आया था. Okay. So I hope you guys got an idea as to what NMAT exam is going to look like. The thing is, no matter how many mocks you write from wherever, unless and until you don't write a proper mock from GMAT site itself, okay, once the NMAT notification is out, the sample mock that they will provide, unless and until you don't attempt it, you will have no idea what the paper feel is going to be. आपको क्वेश्चन का लेवल पता चल जाएगा, पर जो आपको रेस्ट्रिक्ट करेगा, नॉट एबल टू शफल बिटवीन द सेक्शंस, नॉट एबल टू शफल बिटवीन द क्वेश्चंस, नॉट एबल टू इवन मूव फॉरवर्ड अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू मार्क एन ऑप्शन, ये सब कंस्ट्रेंट्स का फील डायरेक्ट GMAT when it is going to release the mock, then you will have an idea. ठीक है? So everybody please make sure to like the video, and if you guys haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you subscribe. You can unlock 3-day free trial access to our app. All you have to do is download our exam prep app. The link to this is given in the description below, and you can access it completely for the next 3 days. Okay. Meet our CAT 2022 toppers. You can be one among them. All you have to do is join our comprehensive program batch. We are going to start a new batch very, very soon. Okay. These are all the giveaways, starting with a tablet to books and a lot of sessions, live sessions, recorded lectures. Okay. You can avail a scholarship up to 90%. The scholarship test is going to happen at 11 a.m. on 11 June. So 11/11. Okay. Make sure that you register for this. Link for this is also given in the description below. On 6th of June at 7 p.m. you can join Mr. Saral for a month-wise study plan workshop. Okay. For this also you will have to register. It is based on first come first serve. You can download our app and attempt our daily section-wise quiz. Okay. And you can jump the leaderboard. You can be one among the top, and you can compare where you stand as compared to hundreds and thousands of other students. Okay. You'll have to download the app for this as well, and make sure that you subscribe the channel so that whenever we are going to conduct this series 500 most expected CAT question के series का session होगा, you are notified about it and you do not miss on this. So this happens every day. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and like our Facebook page. You can also join our Telegram channel, which is BYJU'S Exam Prep for MBA. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you again very soon with another session. Until then, take care.